Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome to the show. It is Saturday night and we are live. Everybody, welcome to Misfit Corner Scams. Appreciate you being out there. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Woo! What a busy weekend. What a busy weekend. Well, I hope everybody's doing good. Let's check in and see who's here. BB chimed in early. I scheduled the stream for 8 o'clock and I saw she had already made a comment. So welcome, BB. She says, hey, and says, looks like I'm the first one here. Just wanted to make sure I could send a message. We'll return again soon. Excellent. Tim's in the house. Says, good evening from Western Kentucky. Welcome. Tim says, I got a recorded call from Spectrum this week advising me that 50% off offer was expiring. They gave me a number to call. Very good. You should call it and screw with them, especially if you don't have Spectrum service. Darlene's in the house. Says hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Screwing with Scammers is here. Says happy Saturday to everybody. BB says, hey, hello, everyone. And Screwing with Scammers, you had me dying with laughter the other day with the goat sound effects. Your girlfriend, Dolly. Boomer's in the house. Says hello, all to the crew. Screwing with Scammers says, I couldn't resist to BB. Sarah's here. Says hello and happy birthday or anyone celebrating. Actually, we got some, we got Thanksgiving coming up really soon, don't we? What is today's date? Today's the 16th. Oh, it's almost 2 weeks away, but it's coming. It's right around the corner. BB says, yeah, it was a great one, Screwing with Scammers. The Lady P's here. Says hello, everyone. Manuel's in the house. How you doing, sir? Oh, Avery's here. Let me bring him in. What up, man? Avery, hey. Avery, can you hear me? All right, I'm going to go back to reading the chat. Sarah's here and says, hello. Everybody hit the like button. Please do. Aaron V's in the house. Says hi at all. Screwing with Scammer says done. Manuel says, hello, BB. My leg is much better, and I got my doctor appointment yesterday. Fantastic. It's good to hear. Boomer says, hi, Screwin'. How you doing? BB says, I really caught a female scammer off guard the other day. Told her she sounded cute and then made some provocative statements. Always a wonderful thing. You definitely should do that. If you guys watch my video today, that one Walmart scammer. What's so funny about that call is that as soon as it started with the we're calling about your order, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna mess with them big time. I'm gonna screw with them good. And as soon as it was a lady that picked up, I said, I'm not changing what I was gonna say. I'm still gonna say the same things. I was gonna say what I said, whether it was a man or a woman. But having it be a woman made it even funnier to me. So I hope you all enjoyed. Manuel says, good evening to Boomer. BB says, hey to Manuel, glad your leg is better. Boomer says, I just hit the like button. Fantastic. Manuel says, hey, Screwing with Scammers. Tim says, right on time. Yes, I know. Isn't it amazing? I actually set the stream up to start like 15 minutes ahead of time. So 2008 AMP1 is here. Says, hi, all. Dave's in the house. Says, hello, Drew. Andy's here. Hey, Andy. Says, hey, Drew. Welcome, welcome. Manuel says, I'm doing good, my friend Drew. Fantastic. Boomer says, hi to the Lady P and BB. Manuel says, hey to Tim. B. Bernie B is in the house. Says, hi, Drew in chat. Dave says, hello to Manuel. Boomer says, hey to Manuel. Manuel says, hey to Dave. Christina's in the house. Says, hello, all. I'm going to skip around a little bit and see who else came in. Jim R says, good evening, all. Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome. Glass Bottle says, hello, E&E. Welcome, welcome. Let's see who else is here. Just going down the list. Oh, Glenn's in the house. Great Betty Short, thank you. Possible female scammer animation in the works, ? As a matter of fact, yes. If you guys saw the short that I released today, it was the animated Bob who is talking, and I synced up with a animated an audio recording that Glenn had sent me. And when I originally shared it with Glenn, he said, it looks like a grasshopper. Well, it was actually an ant. It's an ant head. but there is a grasshopper on the list. I'm already working on it. I've got a couple other different variations because I'm going to have probably 4 or 5 different scammers ready to go before we start doing them regularly. I told Glenn that with the number of recordings that I have and the animation that I'm setting up, I could probably do easily a animated short every week. I want to get to the point where I have enough animation done that I can actually sync it up with recordings and make it into a regular thing. I'm still working on the Betty animation. She actually has 4 different views and 3 different looks with her eyes that go with her mouth movements. So of those 4, it's her just standing there. It's her holding up a phone saying call answered, another phone that says scam likely, and then another phone that says end call. So depending on where she is in the conversation depends on which version of Betty I use. And for every version of Betty, there are 3 different eye positions. There's a straight forward, there's a looking down, and there's a looking to the right, which is technically directly at the camera. Then each of those 3 has a wink. And then each of those 3 have 2 different locations for the eyebrows. So that means there are actually 6 different variations on the eye positions for all 4 different character bodies. And then of those, there's a smile, a smirk, a talk 1, a talk 2, showing your teeth where like that. Then there's a frown. So there's like 6 different facial expressions. So you take the eye movement, the facial expressions, and the different body sets, and I think it's like almost 300 different cells of positions. So depending on where I want her to be at any given point, I have over 300 specific images of her. Now with the scammer, with the ant, there's only like 15 because it's just a matter of moving the head left, right, opening, closing the mouth, the antennas moving, and the fingers moving. And the fingers moving is literally there's just 5 different images of the fingers, and I just randomly pick one for each of the different movements, the head movements, so that when he's talking, his fingers are moving, and then there's other times where he's just standing there, he's not moving, and then there's times where it's just his fingers moving. So I know it sounds like a lot, but I'm getting to the stage where I'll have enough done that I can literally take any recording that Glenn sends me and sync it up with the animation and publish it literally the next day. So my plan starting in a few weeks is to produce the Misfit Corner Scams animated shorts and eventually do Misfit Corner Scams the animated series, meaning I'm going to expand it beyond Betty. Betty is the first one, but there will also be a Timothy, there will be a Herschel, there will be a Carl, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, one of the things I want to do, which may be difficult, is, as you guys know, if you've heard any of Glenn's recordings, usually at the end, he talks in his normal voice. So he's Betty until the very, very end. And I want to do something, like I was thinking like maybe have him like pull off his mask or something like that. But that amount of animation, that amount of movement might be difficult. Right now, it's just talking and moving your head and blinking your eyes and so forth. That's really, really simple. There's not a lot to it. But having him like he's taking off a mask might be difficult. But it's on my list of something to possibly do. So I hope you guys are enjoying that, and just know there's more coming. And once, as I've talked to Glenn about, once I get everything set up, making these will be very, very simple. I just have to grab the different animation, the animated pieces, because literally having Betty talk is like a 1.2 second clip. having her look down or look at you and blink or whatever is like a 0.3 second clip. And what I would do is just drag those clips in and line them up with the audio, so that when Betty is saying, "Hi, how you doing?" Betty is talking, and then I can have her like look at us, blink, frown, smirk, whatever, while there's nothing else going on. So, but having those animations ready to go is what I'm working on now. So I'm excited. I'm very excited about it because I think it's going to be hilarious listening to Glenn as Betty talking and messing with these scammers, and you being able to see her interacting with these guys, which I do have a couple of different ones I've got planned. So long story short, I am thoroughly enjoying playing with this, and hopefully it'll work out and you'll be able to enjoy it every day. Not every day, at least once a week. BB says, "Oh, screwing with scammers. Love your Scottish accent. It's spot on. Love the name Montgomery Scott too. Very good." Let's see. Manuel says, "Hey Sarah, you be a hurricane. Laugh out loud." I don't know. I know there's a hurricane out there that may, or I'm not sure if it's been upgraded to a hurricane yet. But it's named Sarah, which is my mother-in-law's name. I told her she's coming for us. I know that's not funny, but yeah. Manuel says, "Hey, I watched your video named Bob. Excellent. And there is one tomorrow. There's a Betty talk test tomorrow, which is her actually talking, and I lined it up with an audio recording that Glenn sent me. He sent me 5 different ones, but I just used the first one where he says, "Hi, my name's Betty." So that one's tomorrow's test. So you guys might get a kick out of that. Oh, Tattles here says, I messed by telling a final expense scammer that to benefit from insurance, I must die. I pay, never see any money, and he gets rich. I asked to speak to someone smarter, and he hung up. There is nobody smarter. There is nobody smarter than the ones that call you. That's the crying shame. Screwing with Scammers says, someone asked me today, why did the scammer always call me ma'am? I told them the scammers had their brains sucked out from their skulls and had to replace it with marshmallow fluff. That's a very good possibility. Very good possibility. Avery, are you there? Do you hear me? Say hi.
No.
Oh, okay. Yes, he's there. He's probably playing video games in the background.
What are you talking about?
You're probably playing video games, aren't you?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're here with us.
Yeah.
Andy says...
Well, we'll just start with my phone didn't want to connect.
Oh, okay. Well, it's always something, man. It's always something. Well, I'm glad you're here. I appreciate it. Andy says, if you ever get a call, Sully 8NG, they are from Florida, you should ask them the capital with oogly Google with oogly Googling it. Okay. BB says, yeah, the scammer, asked me what I wanted to do, and when I told her, she said no thanks and hung up. Very good. Sarah says, Walmart video hysterical. Thank you. I actually, last night after we got done with our live stream, where we're just sitting around talking about nerd stuff, I said, guys, I want to play this for you and let me know if this is too much, if I went too far with this video. So I played that audio part where I'm telling her about my orders, and Avery was like, that's hilarious. I'm like, okay, excellent. I'm keeping it in. Avery gave it a thumbs up, so I left it in. But
yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. Oh, I try. Once a month I try to make something funny. That's always my goal. Sarah says bad connection. Oh, we might have been talking about you not being there, not saying anything.
Yeah.
Glass Bottle says female scammers won't talk to me. They tell me that these scammers know they are calling me, maybe just to mess with me since I abuse. Well, Oh, hold on a second. I got to shift. I have my leg underneath my butt. I got to move it. So.
Oh, you said shift. Oh, yeah.
Shift. I was sitting on my leg. That's why. All right.
Yeah, you're too fat for that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I know. Tarkorf is here, says, what is more important to you? Well, transportation is. I need it to get dental fixes so I can eat the herring. What is more important to you? Well, transportation is. I need it to get dental fixed so I can eat the hearing. I'm pretty sure this is when they call and say they're going to offer you transportation assistance or dental or hearing assistance. That's good. Eat the hearing. Yeah, I know. My audience is so good. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, hold on a second. Sarah says you keep buffering and your voice keeps going in and out. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I hope it's better. Actually, let me look real quick at the stream. All right, no, it seems to be okay now, at least for the moment. You never know. Oh, I lost my spot. Okay, here we go. Jim says that video with the Medicare scammer was going to send you a blue, white, pink card. Had me laughing on the floor. Had me laying on the floor laughing. I've never heard them say pink before. Well, as soon as he said pink, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to let this go. I got to screw with this guy. I absolutely have to mess with him. But that was funny. Or there was the one recording where the lady said, your blue, white, and red card. And I said, ma'am, it's red, white, and blue. She says, yes, but it's blue at the top, white in the middle, and red at the bottom. And I says, I don't care. Nobody in this country ever says blue, white, and red. Nobody says it that way. Unless, of course, you're not in this country and you're just telling people, something on my hat. Oh, I don't know what that was. But it's red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. There's no other way to say those three words together. It just doesn't. It does not. Those three words do not go together in any other order in any American's dialect. Period. Nobody says blue, white, and red. Nobody says red, blue, and white. We don't. That's not how we say it. There's. Name me a single person that has ever said those three words out of order. The proper order is red, white, and blue. Period. I think everybody here would agree with me. Except Avery. Avery would probably disagree just to disagree. Darlene says, I've seen a few scammers animations. Love
That's how
them.
Americans say it.
That's
Anything
right.
Else, if you say it any other way, then you're a filthy commie.
Either that or you're not from this country and you have no clue what we're talking about.
AKA filthy commies. America.
I don't think in India they're communists. I'm pretty sure.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't.
An American's filthy commie. I have simplified things.
Oh, you have simplified things. Thank you, Avery. That's good. I appreciate it. BB says, can't believe my birthday is next Saturday. Fantastic. Well, we'll have to celebrate, BB. Absolutely. Wait, there was something happening next Saturday. I think the wife and I are going to a friend's house for their birthday, but we should definitely be back in time to do the live stream. I don't think that's going to interfere with the live stream at all. So cool. Next Saturday, we'll celebrate BB's birthday. Excellent. Christina says, final expense scammer got confused when I called him out for being in India, told me that Indians were not eligible for final expenses. Really? That's funny. I got to use that. We got to try that on one of the, because the final expense scammers, they call all year round. They're not, there's no time frame. There's no specific dates that they call. So that's a good one. All right. Nigella's in the house. Says hello. Good evening. Welcome. BB says, won't really get to celebrate until a few days later when my kids have come to visit. Okay, well, good. That's always a good thing. Boomer says, enough with the eyes already. Okay. Let's see. BB says, they come on the 27th. Okay, well, next Saturday is the 23rd, I believe. So you're going to celebrate on the 27th when they come. Okay, very good. Well, isn't Thanksgiving the 28th? If I remember correctly? You could do birthday Thanksgiving at the same time, Maybe. Manuel says, great comic, my friend Drew. Well, thank you. Thank you. Christina says, short sound funny. Very good. That's what I'm shooting for. Manuel says, my brother-in-law, his birthday is on November 27th. Okay. So that's coming up very soon. Lisa says, Bertha Johnson here. Hello, everyone in the chat. Well, welcome. Welcome, Bertha. Manuel says, yes, it was very funny short for video, Christina. Glass Bottle says to Christina, what's good about it? Law enforcement will be doing a major attack on these scammers since we got a new POTUS. I don't know. I don't know if who's in the White House is going to change anything when it comes to scam calls. To be quite honest with you,
it won't make a difference.
I don't think it'll make. I don't think there's legislation out there that our government can do that'll stop this. The only people that can stop scam calls is the governments and law enforcement in the other countries, in those countries, or the phone companies. Because when a scammer calls using an automatic dialer and using spoof numbers, the phone companies have got to be able to recognize that. They've got to have some type of way of identifying that. And could they stop it? Maybe. But why? You know? I think the only people in this world that can truly stop scam call centers have no interest whatsoever in stopping it from happening. Either they're being paid or they don't care. Let's put it that way. All right. The Lady P's in the house says, happy birthday, BB, in case I miss it next Saturday. Oh, wait, I did get Lady P before. So, okay, good. Glenn says, what do you think of the head, shoulders, knees, and toes recording? I think it was the best recording ever. I hadn't used it, but I know I have it. I'm going to have to try to figure out a way to use that somewhere in the animated shorts. But yes, I asked Glenn, I sent him a request, said, hey, send me like a quick snippet of Betty just saying, hi, my name's Betty. And he sent me 5 different recordings with saying all different stuff. So he gave me a lot to play with when it came to testing Betty's animation. So you'll get to see that tomorrow. That's tomorrow's short. So sounds good. Manuel says, happy birthday to BB. Lisa says, hello, I'm using my friend's phone until I get home. Okay, no problem. Jamie's here, says, hello, you know who I am. I play with them. Well, very good, good. Tattle says, election day scammers claimed he voted. I asked how when the polls weren't open yet. They were. He said it was hard. When asked why he lied, he hung up. What I thought was really funny is my daughter told her husband that he needed to go to the polls and vote on Monday. Here in Jacksonville, early voting was up and stopped. The last day to do early voting was Sunday. Then Monday there was nobody at the polls, and then Tuesday was actual election day. So she told him because Monday was his day off, he needed to go and vote. They learned the hard way that you couldn't vote on Monday. But that's okay. He tried. I'm pretty sure he did it the next day. So it's a good thing. Tim says, Sarah is also my wife's name. All right, well, if a hurricane hits you, name Sarah, you know whose fault it is. I actually worked with a lady whose name was Katrina when Katrina came through Florida. And, you got to pick on somebody when they're named after, or when a hurricane is named after them. There was a Hurricane Andrew when I was much younger. I know a buddy of mine was in Naples when it came through that area. I don't think Andrew affected us here in Jacksonville at all. It was more South Florida, but I hope nobody holds that against me. Avery might. Scott's here. Hey, Scott, how's it going? I love telling the health insurance scammers that I re-enrolled with them yesterday, and I insist that I already spoke with a licensed agent. Very good. Very good. Just screw with them. Waste their time. It's always wonderful. Christina says, Avery, Bambi Meets Godzilla is on YouTube. Very good. Oh, Jamie sent me $10. Says, you know what I do to scammers? Love giving me my expired credit card and Medicare scammers. I tell them I got stinky poopy syndrome, and they hang up. I told them I have itchy butt syndrome, IBS. I mean, I know a lot of people that have IBS, itchy butt syndrome.
That's not what IBS means.
I know, but that's what I have. I have itchy
Wash.
butt. Yeah, I know. It's my biggest problem. I just, yeah. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it.
Oh God. That's
Screwing with
gross.
says one call center put my number on their internal do not call list. I'm pretty sure my number has been put on do not call lists, but I still get calls every day, all the time. Well, I don't get calls on Sundays. I did get a couple of calls today, and I did have one that I messed with. I thought it was one of the Medicare scammers who, when I asked them, who are you calling for? There's multiple people here that have Medicare. And he's like, I don't know how to say this name. And he started to spell Herschel. And I said, well, you could call him by his last name, but just say Mr. And he said, is Jones there? And I said, you mean Mr. Jones? And he said, yes. I said, no, he's not. He says, well, wait a minute. There's another. He says, I have a lot of names connected to this phone number. I said, well, tell me another one. And he goes, are you Jennifer? And I'm like, mother, do I sound like Jennifer? I mean, really, do I sound like Jennifer? And then he hung up. But yeah, I don't. We definitely sound different. I don't sound like a girl, do I? A lady, do I? Maybe.
No.
Shut up. Don't answer that question.
I said no.
Screwing with Scammer says, I guess they got tired of me wasting their time. It's all right. Trust me, they'll share your number around. You'll get calls from a lot of other call centers. It's going to happen. Sarah says, Drew, bad connection. Am I still getting bad connection? I don't know. Hold on. All right. I just checked the audio. It's still coming through okay. So, all right. It might have been a while ago. I don't know. Oh, now I lost my spot. Hold on. Let me get. Tattle says, just curious, do you ever get an apology from a scammer for lying to you? How often? I often tell scammers they owe me an apology, but I've never gotten one. I had one time say something about my mother, and I said my mother's dead, and he apologized for that. But I don't think I've ever gotten an apology from somebody trying to scam me. So I don't think they can. I don't think that's something they can comprehend. You know what I mean? You know, they don't believe what they're doing is bad. You know. Christina says herring is a little fish. Yes, I knew that. BB says I don't have any problems with buffering. Okay, good. Manuel says, hey Tattle, good evening. Story time with Knuckles says, hello all. Well, welcome to the show. Jim says to Sarah, no problem here. Manuel says, hello, story time with Knuckles, who says hello to Manuel. Glenn says, only 16 likes. Come on. That's all right. Christina says, colors went right over her head. Christina, you have to remember, these are not the brightest people on the planet. Matter of fact, they're not the brightest people in that town that they're calling from. Matter of fact, they're not the brightest people in the room they're sitting in. They put the dumbest people they have on the phones. Really. Well, I always find it funny, and you guys know this as well, is that you get that initial scammer, and you know they're just barely able to speak English. They probably don't comprehend what they're saying, and they're not smart at all. And then they say, well, let me transfer you to my supervisor, my senior supervisor. And you would hope that person has a monocle. That's not the word I'm looking for.
A modicum
of brain power.
A modem.
I know when the word's wrong. I know what I'm trying to say. But needless to say, they're not.
Mononucleosis.
Mononucleosis. Yeah, there you go. They have a mononucleosis of brain power. Thank you, Avery. That's why you're here. You're good.
I'm helping.
Manuel says, hey to Avery, my friend.
Hello.
Finn's in the house. Says hello, everyone. Happy Saturday night. BB says I agree. It's definitely red, white, and blue. Yeah, there is no debating about that.
Yep.
Boomer
Anything else is communism.
Boomer says, who the heck is Avery anyway?
Yeah. Who
Avery?
is that guy? He's a jerk. I don't like him.
Avery is a buddy of mine. Probably one of my very best friends. I'm his best friend. He's admitted to that many times before.
Oh, shut up.
And we went to high school together.
Yeah.
And we've known each other since high school. And he was the best man at my wedding.
Oh my God, that's right, I was.
That's one of your claims to fame here, you know.
Oh wow.
31 years ago, you were the one standing right next to me. Almost burnt him to a crisp too, because he was standing right next to a candelabra.
Yeah. That's back when I had long hair.
That's back when you had long hair. Yeah,
I had hair, and I could grow hair. I miss having hair.
Yeah, well, those are fun times.
I had amazing hair.
Fun. I don't know if I'd go amazing, but
it was fantastic. It was like a lion's mane.
Lion's mane.
When my hair was shaved on the sides and the back. My hair was so thick. When I let it down, you couldn't tell. It looked like
I only remember you having longer hair from the pictures of my wedding. After that, I don't remember you having long hair.
Because I started losing my hair in my late 20s, and I cut it.
All right, well.
That's when I started cutting my hair.
Sorry, I hate to bring up such bad memories for you, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop. But Avery
is power was in my hair.
Avery is a buddy of mine. Go all the way back to high school. We've been on several road trips together. We've gone to several conventions. We've done several things together. He's one of those guys, and I've told them. I said, when I'm dead, when I'm gone, I don't want to have a wake or a funeral. I want to have a party. I want all my friends and family to get together and have a party. And I've only said 3 people are allowed to speak at that party. Yuli, Avery, and Todd. Now, whether you do or not, it's completely up to you. But I said the only reason why those 3 people are allowed to speak is because they know all my secrets. Yes. And at that point, I won't care.
Yes. We know it all.
You know it all. I don't. There's a few secrets that only my wife knows. But,
yeah.
But the remainder of them.
Yeah, that's the stuff I don't want to know.
Trust me, if you get me all liquored up, I'll tell you.
You don't drink.
I don't drink. I know. I tell you anyway.
You know.
What's so funny?
Jennifer can keep those scarring things.
You know what's so funny? What's so funny is I've been racking my brain thinking about this idea of doing stand-up. I would probably absolutely suck at it, but it's something I'd like to try to do. And I've been thinking about, the stories of when we were younger and, all that stuff. Some of the stories are funny. And I have one bit about me and my wife that I think is relatable to a lot of people and not relatable at the same time. But I'm trying to work out the story in my head, and I may actually try to put it together and do it sometime and perform it sometime. Make a video, But it has to do with the fact that I don't know how personal we want to get tonight, but
yeah,
okay, never mind. We're not going to go that far. But I mean, it's one of those things that it's one of those personal things that I feel is I'm very lucky to have experienced and to have in my life. And a lot of people don't have that one little thing that I have. And I find it, it's one of those things that brings a smile to my face every time I think about it. But that's for another night. That's for another night. We're not going to go dig into the personal, I was going to say pit. It's not a pit. It's a swimming pool. Nobody wants to dive into that right now, but it's there. And I like telling stories. I'll be honest with you guys.
Andrew likes oversharing.
I like oversharing. Yes. But this is important to me. when I was growing up, my parents never sat down and had any kind of discussion with me. Okay. And when it came to my children, my wife and I, we were very, very open with our kids. I mean, we were very, very blunt and honest and very open with them. And almost to the point where my kids are like, oh God, please don't tell me that story again. I've already heard it 100 times. And I already know, Dad, you've told it to us, or Mom, you've told it to us. We shared with them the things that my parents and my wife's parents never shared when we were kids. I don't know if they were embarrassed. I don't know if they thought we were too young or whatever. My wife and I were 18, 19, and our son was at our wedding. Okay.
Yeah.
So there were conversations that did not happen, and we were not prepared for them because they never happened. That is not the case with my kids. We were very blunt and open and honest with them. And what's really funny is both my children will tell you that neither one of them wanted to have the life that we had. And what I mean by that is be teenagers, be married, and have children.
Yeah.
Neither one of them did that. Both of them got their degrees. They went to college. They got their degrees. One of them is gone back to college working on another degree. One of them is now married. They don't have children. They purposely, and we didn't take offense to it when they said, we don't want your life. We saw the troubles, the hardship that you went through. We don't want that. And I'm like, thank God we were the example that you don't have to follow. Even though our love is strong, we're still together 31 years later. We got some great kids. Our experiences were difficult. They were hard, but we stuck it out. We stuck together, and we're still surviving. I was hoping my kids would have an easier life, and even though they still have issues, they have their own problems, but they're healthy, they're smart, they're educated, they have jobs, they have their own places, they have people in their lives, and you can't ask for more nowadays, But bottom line is, we're gonna get out of the pool. I'm sorry, I know we went off on some tangents here, but that's the problem with getting me yapping. He never shuts up. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'll be honest with you guys.
I just said Andrew loves to overshare.
If a scammer wanted to just chit chat with me,
oh my God,
I'm all for it. I've done it before. I've had calls where I was on the phone for over a half hour just chit chatting with a scammer. Now they're full of crap and they're liars, but it's fun talking to them and messing with them. So actually, I got to go back. I know I have one recording. It's from early in the channel, in which I remember specifically, I forget what type of scam it was, but it was a girl that I was talking to, a lady, and I was having such a great time screwing with her that I actually walked out the front door of the house and went for a walk. And I'm talking to her and just having a conversation and just enjoyed the heck out of messing with her and wasting her time. I've got to find that recording because that would make a great animated episode with me hitting on this scammer and just at one point I was like, I'm ready to run away with you. Tell me where to meet you and we'll run away together. And I literally came home and said, honey, I got to tell you what I did. It was in my mind. It was funny. I had such a great time. All right, back to the message. I am. Where am I? This is what hour are we at? I'm 20 minutes behind, so I'm gonna skim.
No.
I'm gonna skim and see if anybody else joined in. Nigella's here. Hey, Nigella says most Medicare scammers are in Wapindi, Pakistan. Okay, I'll have to try to remember that. I know you have told me that a couple of times before. Let's see what else we got here. Andy confirmed Thanksgiving is on the 28th. Yeah. Finn says first cell phone company that stops spoof robocalls will gain many new customers. Yeah, but then they will lose the business of those scammers. And I think that's the reason why they don't actively do it. I think they lose that, and there may be revenue in there. Finn says, what are some of the financial incentives for the public get removed by the new administration? What if some of the financial incentives for the public get removed by the new administration? That's a good question, but I don't know what kind of financial incentives you're talking about, you know? You're thinking like maybe Social Security is going to go away or something like that. I don't think anything like that's going to happen, to be honest with you. I had, when this summer, when I was working in the store and I had the kid, Brandon, came and helped me at the store, the subject of politics came up in conversation very briefly. He asked me, because like it was the summer, so it was the political stuff was in full swing, and he asked me about my opinion on who I was going to vote for. And I told him, I said, listen, when my business first started, it did better under the previous administration than the current administration. From that standpoint alone, I knew who I was going to vote for. And now we're also talking about a kid, teenage kid. I think he's 15, 16. I forget exactly. And he was like, and he said to me, he says, well, I've heard this about this side and I've heard this about this side. And I said, okay, I understand, but you don't know crap about owning a business, running a business, and having to deal with the politics and the government involved in your business. You know, I mean, there are things that government can do to a small business owner that can seem very small and insignificant, but because it doesn't affect a teenage kid has no clue. And I'm just saying, I told him, I says, listen, I look at it very black and whitely. This is how my business did before. This is how my business did afterwards. Which one of those two was better? And I think a lot of people look at it that way. And they look at where their paychecks were, where their income was, whether or not they were employed or not. It affects. It has a big effect. So, all right. So enough about new administrations. We're not going to talk about that. We try very hard to keep out politics and religion and social justice stuff. Keep all that stuff out of this conversation. I mean, it does slip in from time to time, and that's okay. I mean, if you guys really want to talk about current affairs, we should talk about that fight last night. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Oh, that was terrible.
The fight beforehand with the two girls, that was an awesome fight. The two of them got bloody.
I honestly expected that to suck. I was just like, yeah, whatever, women's boxing.
They beat
the shit out of each other. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah,
I was like,
and I don't necessarily know if the person who should have won is the person that actually won.
Yeah, it seemed a little sus.
Yeah,
that was a little sketchy.
But if you guys didn't watch the fight, or you did watch the fight last night, chime in. Let me know what you think. But I really wanted Mike Tyson to knock Jake Paul on his butt.
I was watching some of the videos of Tyson training before that health thing happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
He was moving way faster.
There was a point in time in the match where I think Jake Paul realized, I can't kill this guy. I can't beat him up because he's not the guy he used to be. And I think Jake Paul, in Tyson's current physical condition, could have knocked the ever-living crap out of him. We wanted the
plus
Mike Tyson
I've seen some breakdowns of Tyson deliberately holding back when he had an opening.
I think Jake Paul did the same thing as it progressed.
Yeah,
after the first two, he
plus
kind
I
of
saw some pictures of some of the contract.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a real fight. That was never meant to be a real fight. Tyson couldn't knock him out legally in the first round. Like
even though we wanted it to happen, we wanted it to happen so bad. We wanted to see Mike Tyson lay that punk down. Well.
So what they did is they put on a show for 8 rounds.
Yeah.
Try to.
One of those two guys has bragging rights that they went toe-to-toe with Mike Tyson for 8 rounds. And won by unanimous decision. And Mike Tyson's got $20 million. Yeah. What would you do for $20 million?
I'd do a lot.
Would you get into the ring with Mike Tyson?
If he promises not to murder me and he holds back like that, dude, he taps me once, I'm just gonna lay down and be like, oh, give me my 20 million. I'll be like, cause for real, even in the shape he was in last night, Mike Tyson would whoop my ass.
He's still he's 58 years old, but he's still a monster. Oh, those shoulders like scared the crap out of me.
Beast, dude. He's still a beast.
Woo.
Like, well, if you're Joe Schmo, average person, Mike Tyson is still whip the shit out of you.
Dude, you know what I think is so funny? Whenever we're watching football, you see these guys, these gladiators, these monsters of men going up against each other, and you're impressed with them, what they do, and then they go and they walk to the sidelines and they're standing next to a couple of trainers, and they're like 4 feet taller than everybody else, and their shoulders are broad. You could line up 5 people and their shoulders would still be broader than these 5 people, and you're like, oh my, you don't realize how freaking huge some of these people are.
Yeah.
And they are literally gladiator giants, you know. I mean, there was
some of them are absolute monsters.
Yes, they're huge. And you don't realize it when 2 monsters are standing next to each other. You don't realize it. Then you get like one of the referees who's like 5'8", and they're like, it's crazy. But I think if Mike Tyson even flinched at me, I would crap my pants and have a heart attack.
Oh yeah. And Mike Tyson's only 5'10".
But still taller than me.
Oh yeah. It's
shut up.
It's shorter than me though.
Yeah, I know.
But watch those old videos of Mike Tyson fighting people that are bigger than him and kicking the crap out of them.
I tell you what, I hate to say it, but even though I'm a fat man who doesn't run, I could outrun Mike Tyson. I'm fairly certain I could move faster than him.
The adrenaline.
Adrenaline alone.
You might die of a heart attack once you stop. But
I'm pretty sure I could get away from him. All I'd have to do is do a little zigzag and his knees would give out. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Another tangent. We're done with that other tangent, so we'll get back to
that. Was rough to watch, though.
Boomer says, I had a legit call from my solar battery company, and the caller sounded just like a scam caller, even pronouncing my name wrong. I got it right, but when I got it right when he did not go into the typical, how are you today? You have to be careful when it comes to legitimate calls. That's why my wife has that rule with me. I have to behave with every single call as if it's legitimate until I know it's a scam. And knowing it's a scam could be something as simple as, I'm calling from your electric provider. Don't know the name of the company. I'm calling from your cable provider. I'm calling about an Amazon or Walmart orders. Those are all scams. Absolutely 100% scams. Or I'm calling from Medicare and I'm trying to reach Herschel, or I'm trying to reach Timothy Jones or some other fake name that doesn't exist in the Medicare records. You know, then I know they're scam calls. I know it's a scam call. You know, but I got it. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I told you guys the story one time where I had a lady call and I answered the phone. And she said she was calling from a bank, and she was calling about my recent mortgage. And I'm like, okay, this has got to be a scam call. I did not buy a house. I don't have a new mortgage, whatever. And the woman had a very nice voice. And I said to her, usually you ask a question to try to see if it's a robocall. I asked her, I said, you have a very sexy voice. Has anybody ever told you that before? And her response was, well, yes, my husband. I should have known right there and then that there was something wrong with this potential scam call. But because they said, I'm calling about your mortgage and I'm from a bank, see, I immediately knew it was a scam call. Turns out, guys, my parents had just bought a new house. And they got my dad's number mixed up with my number because when I re-listened to the recording, they asked for my dad and not me. And I didn't catch that. I heard the last name and just assumed they were calling for me. I missed the fact that they asked for William. Turns out it was 100%
Oh
legitimate.
yeah, I
It
remember
was
you
my
talking
it was
about
my
that.
mom. It was my mom and dad's bank calling about some mortgage insurance, and I screwed with the lady. I didn't do it for very long. I didn't do it very hard, but I definitely did. Have anybody ever told you have a sexy voice? Oh,
Oh yeah, my
yeah, I
husband.
know. I know. I gotta
You
be.
creepy.
I
Creepy.
know. And I called my mom and I told her what happened. I said, when you call the bank, just say, you have no idea who they were talking to. Don't tell them it was your son.
That was
Junior's.
mommy's little angel.
That's right. Junior A's here says, hello, sir. Hello, hello. I know this was 30 minutes ago. I hope you're still here, but hello, hello. I'm going to skip through again. Okay. Sarah says, I want calls so I can screw with them. I haven't gotten any scam calls in about 10 years. Well, somebody asked me today, they left a comment and said, how did you get on these scammers call list? And I tell you guys, I have a sneaky suspicion. I forget whether it was 5, 6, 7 years ago, my wife's grandmother was diagnosed with onset dementia and could not live at home alone. So my wife and I moved in with her to help take care of her. And during that time, our telephone number got associated with her. And that's where it started. That's where we think it all started. I do not remember getting as many scam calls as I get today prior to moving in with her and helping her. So if you guys want to know how to get scam calls, move in with an elderly person and assume their telephone. That's it. I don't advise it for anybody, but I'm just saying that's how it happened. All right, let me go. Okay, I'm gonna. Glenn says the IBS causes from scammers telling you to where to put your credit card. Yeah, I haven't gotten one of those calls in a long time, but yeah, that's exactly where the IBS problem comes from. I have an itchy butt from shoving my credit card up my butt. Yep. Scott says, I love asking the scammers how life is in Pakistan. Most of them hang up, but I've had a few be honest and admit they were in a Pakistan city like Islamabad or Karachi. Really? I've had some tell me where they lived or where they were at, and I've never known for sure whether or not they're lying or full of crap. So I always assume they're never, ever, ever, ever going to tell you the truth. So Jamie says, I have 3 Siberian Huskies, wolf hybrids, and 2 30-pound Mancoon cats. Wow. You want a couple of small cats to feed to them? Because I have a couple I could share. I could spare, absolutely. Says I'm 63 and have a full head of hair. Jamie's just rubbing it in.
Rub it in.
All right, let me see what else is going on here. Glenn says mosquitoes are smaller than scammers because they can get something from you without you even knowing until later. Yeah, that is kind of true. Screwing with Scammer says, with all the noise in the background on these call centers, I ask the scammers when they are watching what they are watching on television. I ask, are you watching Good Morning Calcutta? Very good. Tattle says, got a charity scammer to take me off their list. Gave fake name and address to send the envelope. When they didn't get one, AI called me. I kept saying, is this a scam? And it's been 2 years and I haven't heard since. I've actually, my mother-in-law has actually given to a pact prior to us moving in and helping her. And that's one of the reasons why we get so many of those calls, especially to the home number. And they send envelopes all the time saying, hey, you said you were going to donate. And I have sent a few of them back with a nice little handwritten note. And I told her one time what I wrote on one. And she was like, oh, my God, Andrew, I don't believe you did that. And I said, what? What are you talking about? I sent them nice and happy, FU messages to see if they want to call or send another letter, Smidgen's in the house. Says, good evening, all. Welcome. That was almost a half hour ago, so I'm going to try to catch up a little bit. Oh my goodness, Jamie sent me some more money. Jamie, thank you. I am from Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's funny when y'all use these from Wisson. Vision. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it. Pumpkin Spice Life is here. Says, hi, Jamie. I'm from D. Paris. I'm assuming that's someplace probably in Wisconsin, baby. Glass Bottle says to Tattle, laugh out loud, you asked for an address to send it, then looked it up on Google. Then I reported it to the FTC and never heard again from them again. I have actually done a couple of reports regarding calls to my number, which, of course, as you guys, I've said it many times before, is on the National Do Not Call list. I've never gotten a follow-up. I've never gotten any questions. I've never gotten any feedback, anything of it. So I don't know if it actually works or not, but still get calls. May not be from the exact same companies every time, but they just pass your number around. Somebody else will call you. That's just the way it goes. All right, I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. Tim says, I bought Sharif software for years. They would call me from Europe, and I would have to have the greatest conversation. I would update my Page Plus each time. I don't know what half those words means. Sharif software and Page Plus. I don't know. That might have been part of a conversation earlier on that I missed, but let's see what else is going on here. Finn's responding to Pumpkin Spices. When I saw your name, I was thinking, hello, Country Pumpkin. Then I remembered it was Bumpkin, but still, it got me thinking about the song. Oh. Bertha Johnson says, now on my phone and not my friend's phone. Okay, good. Welcome back. All right, I'm scrolling. Pumpkin Spice says to Finn, I wanted to try and get followers with all that pumpkin spice. Now I'm sick of it, so my handle will be changing again. Maybe I will use my old CB handle. Who knows? I may be Babs again. Pumpkin Spice Life sounds like it would get a lot of attention, to be honest with you. Misfit Corner presents Pumpkin Spice Life. Pumpkin Spice Scams. Ooh, you never know. All right, I'm going to scroll through. I lost a lot here. Smidgen says, we got a mortgage refinance call this week, and why the guy said how much we still owed, but I unloaded on him that his info is from 10 years ago. We had mortgage, and the info he had is from a recent breach. Really? Oh boy. That's one way to catch somebody in a lie, when they're calling about data that may have been lost in a data breach. Wow. Now, I know I've gotten letters before. If you guys have gotten letters from either a bank or an institute or a business that says your information might have been compromised, they usually don't go in a lot of detail on what might be out there, but it's kind of like they're warning you, letting you know some of your information. They have spilled some of your information out there into the dark web, and people have it. But that's very interesting. Darlene says, we didn't get scam calls till we bought our house. Really? Now, my mom and dad, they would get the calls the first time they bought a house, calling about home security systems, calling about just water filters. They put your name and information out there when you buy a house, and people that do solicitations of all different types, including scammers, will buy that information in order to solicit you or try to solicit you. So buying a house or making them, that's the thing about, like, when I get the accident calls where they call about, hey, we found out you were recently in an accident. I've been in the one accident I'd been in the last 5 years. We didn't even have a police report for it. It was something very small, and we took care of it. You know, the insurance companies took care of it. So where they got the information or where they got our names, number from, who has a clue? But at some point out there, somebody gave it to them, you know? Smidgen says, correction, we had no mortgage. Okay, gotcha. Hammond, hey, how's it going? Or Hamoud says, laugh out loud to Finn. Trust me, no one wants to be in Illinois. It's too expensive there. Bertha says, I love to aggravate scammers. Initially, when I get a call on my real number, I'm very skeptical when asking for my name. I never ever confirm anything until I ask who they are. Good practice. Hamoud says, great content, Misfit. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Bertha says, one time I had them send me envelopes to a police fund to my name, Jelly Roll, to the White House. I don't know if it ever got sent. You never know unless somebody tries to forward it to you. Tim says, Sharif is now called Affinity. They had the best desktop publishing software that's affordable. I don't think I've ever heard of that, either one of those. So, okay. Sarah says, time to go. Settle down for the night. Very good. BB says, night to Sarah. BB says, have a great week. Manuel says good night to Sarah. Sarah says good night. And last but not least, Christina says, I like your accent in the drive-thru. Okay, I'm not sure who she was talking to, but okay. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I'm so sorry I didn't get to every single chat. I went on way too many tangents, and, you know, but to all those out there, I appreciate you coming in and joining this. This honestly is one of the highlights to my weekend, is to being able to be here to talk to you guys and tell stories and all and so forth. There's always more stuff coming, so don't worry. This isn't getting old. I think this is like the 112th one of these we've done, so it doesn't get old to me at all. Oh, that reminds me, I keep getting an email from somebody, a business of some type, that wants to help me to promote the live streams, to get more lives. And I'm like, I don't want to do live streams. I do once a week, and I have a small group of people that I like to talk to, and that's it. I don't need to do live streams all the time. Live streaming is not my business model. It's something I do because it's fun. We have a good time with it. It's not something I want to do all the time, every day, constantly. That is not what I'm in for, what I'm doing. So, also, yeah, I meant to mention this before. You guys know that on Sunday, my Sunday video is a recap, a combination of all the videos from the week before. Do you guys ever watch those? Do any of you find those fun, entertaining? Do you check them out just to do a recap? I'm always curious, but I'll talk about that next week. I'll try to make sure I bring it up earlier in the week. So earlier in the live stream. All right, guys, have a fantastic weekend. Hope you all have a great week. I'll see you here next Saturday. Once again, Avery, thank you so much for joining and being here with me.
Bye.
I appreciate it. And remember, if you get calls like the ones I get, either hang up on them or screw with them like I do. And if you do screw with them, record it and share it with people. Remember the golden rule, the Glenn rule: screw and share. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you all next time.